One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Going for the deep ball. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. From the 50, it's Keenum. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Eagles will take over here in just a second on offense. And, Charles, as you look back to the Super Bowl title run that they just had, what were some of the moves that made that possible?
I'll keep it on the offensive side of the ball because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out. Well, they had signed Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for Jay Ajayi. And how about Jason Peters losing the all-world left tackle? And Halapoulivaati Vaitai, who they drafted the year before, filled in quite capably. They had answers for everything they needed.
Now Wentz on third down. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Wentz escaping the pressure right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
And he better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Here's Wentz to throw. Dancing to his left. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on fourth down. Throwing now is Wentz. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly. But overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be, because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have a little more speed at wide receiver. But all in all, this team comes back pretty well intact and will be a force for a while.
Yeah, that defense is pretty set.
Very much so. I mean, try and move the ball against their front and then try and throw it against Xavier Rhodes. Good luck to you.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. A shotgun snap for Keenum. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, Keenum. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
Keenum going to try and throw on third down. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Keenum going for it on fourth. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 36. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Again, here's Blunt. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. To throw is Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and of course,
course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Keenum on third down. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very solid gain of 27. On 1st and 10, Keenum. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, Keenum. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing again is Keenum. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. Now Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this one is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll begin here with Blunt. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And they're going to go for this. Just 1 for 3 so far on 4th down tries. They're trying again. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 88 yards.